Hey, what's up? Let's take a look at some traditional knives. And I really like traditional knives a lot. I don't have many. This is pretty much what I have. Have some Swiss Army knives too. But in my eyes, I think these Swiss Army knives are more multi-tool than they are a traditional knife. I know they are traditional knives, but to me, in my eyes, a traditional knife has some sort of bone, some sort of yellow Durlin, or maybe even some wood. And to me, a traditional knife is pretty much just a knife, not really stuff with screwdrivers and can openers and stuff like that. Of course, some people would argue with me for hours and hours on end, and that's fine. I mean, they are traditional, but not what I want to look at tonight. So, what we're looking at are a few cases here, and one Shot & Morgan. And these first three here have Case CV steel, which is a high carbon steel, and it is not a stainless steel, so it will take on this patina. A patina is a oxidation of the surface of the knife that you encourage. So it's almost like a rust that you encourage so that it doesn't officially rust. And I know it doesn't make a lot of sense, but it's kind of like an apple. Like if you were to cut up an apple, a potato, or some sort of, maybe even spread some mustard on, some sort of acid, the blade will stain. And that's kind of a good thing. Some people even stick these in an apple overnight and kind of take them out the next day, wipe them off. And they're kind of this dull gray. It definitely takes off that shininess, and you have more rust resistance when it goes through that patina process. I never force a patina, but that's not to say I won't peel an apple and kind of leave it on the counter for an hour. So I guess kind of I won't force it on purpose, but I won't prevent it either. But anyways, some people love patinas, some people hate them. I love them. I think they add to the character of your slip joint. And what I mean by that is, it's going to be hard to explain, but if you've ever been into like an antique store, or even found one of your father's or your great-grandfather's, maybe like a little EDC box or whatever, if you ever found their old knives and you see how beat up they are, they're kind of scratched, kind of pocket worn. Even on some of the bone ones, you maybe even have a chip of bone or something where maybe they dropped it on the concrete. Have certain stains and stuff like this. Just kind of adds to character of traditional knives, in my opinion. So I really enjoy that. I really enjoy how a slip joint, more so than your average one-handed folder, such as like this Endura. Not to knock the Endura, and I know the modern folder has advanced because, things keep getting better and better. But this plastic and this ZDP 189, it's going to be very hard to stain this. This plastic is pretty wear resistant. And this knife, you could carry it for 5 years, and pretty much, depending on what you cut, it would look pretty much the same except for maybe some scratches here on the blade. So a traditional knife, carry it for the same amount of time, it's going to really show that age. And that's kind of really cool in my opinion. Just kind of have the knife kind of get old with you, or kind of show that it's been used a lot. Kind of like a well-loved tool, So, anyways, that's kind of the appeal to traditional knives for me and a lot of people. If you check out the traditional forum on Blade Forums, hundreds of people logging in per day, just to talk about slip joints. Very cool forum, by the way. The little traditional area of Blade Forums. So let's just run through a few of these models real quick, show you what they look like in the hand, and I'll let you go. So this is a medium Stockman. Medium Stockman has 3 blades, like all Stockmans. This main clip point blade, your sheep's foot blade, which is straight and kind of has this hump here. You can see this patina and staining that this Case CV steel has. And this particular Stockman is kind of different than most because instead of a spay blade here, it's a pen blade. And I really like that. I really like a pen blade, especially for whittling. It just has a lot of control right here. How small this blade is, very good for whittling. So, anyways, that's a Stockman pattern. This is another Stockman pattern by Schott & Morgan. It is a sow belly. This still captures that traditional feel, but to me, I wish it had the carbon steel. Because to me, slip joint should be carbon steel. Just kind of bring it back. If you're going to go traditional, go all the way traditional. Not to say there's anything wrong with stainless blades, and especially on your slip joint, but for me, I'd just rather have carbon steel. So again, this is a Stockman. Have your main blade. This is a fancy version. It has a long pull, has swedge right here, has a threaded bolster, which is this little line here, and pinched. There's a pretty interesting thread on pinched bolsters in that Blade Forums traditional area too, if you want to check that out. Some people will love them, some people hate them. I like them. I just think it adds a certain detail to the knife. And of course, most of your traditional knives have some sort of shield. Case normally. This is a cheaper production knife company, Case. I'm sure everybody's heard of Case. They kind of do this simpler oval on most of their stuff. Some of the customs have real intricate shields, and even some of the higher end production knives. See this one just kind of, I don't know what they call this. But anyways, so yeah. Traditional Stockman with a spay blade. And if this one looks a little bent, it's because it is the sow belly version. What I mean by bent, it's just kind of round here. And my most recent one I've picked up is this Bearhead Jack single blade. I like how much blade length this little guy packs. I like the way it looks, real slim. Very useful blade shape. This edge is just kind of straight, has a little bit of belly, very sharp pointy tip. Just a very, very nice EDC blade. I mostly use it as a secondary knife. So, with the yellow Derlin, one blade, very thin in your pocket. Carries very well in your watch pocket, like I carry most of my traditional knives. Or, if you don't carry a wallet in your back pocket, I carry a money clip and I carry in my front right pocket. This carries very nice in your back pocket. For me anyways. I don't really even feel it back there in my back right pocket. This is a Case Peanut. A very, very small knife here. Almost a 3-finger knife. There are some older timers, some older folks who got along just fine EDCing a Peanut. So, I mean, very capable knife in the right hands. And real quick, this is a Sodbuster Jr. in CV steel. Very thin blades. They slice very well. Most traditional knives do. So anyways, guys, that's the video. And if you don't have some sort of case knife with CV steel, I highly, highly recommend that you pick one up. Let it get a patina. Let it age with you a little bit. And maybe even just start off carrying it with your one-handed folder. And just enjoy it like that. And then maybe eventually you can just enjoy it by itself. I'm not at that point yet. I kind of can't go with just traditional yet. So anyways, guys, thanks for hanging out with me, and